Hi everyone. Thank you for coming to get more information about student finance, about financing your housing. Hopefully we'll be able to answer some questions as it relates to financial aid, payment plans, and general costs for living on campus. My name is Ashley Scott. I'm the Associate Director for Student Housing, and I am the contact person for applications for your contract and general billing for student housing. We'll go around the room, as it were, and introduce ourselves and dive in.
Hi, I am Christy Luna. I am one of the counselors in the financial aid office. So I'm going to go over some information in a bit, just some kind of tips and reminders, information on how to make sure everything is set up for your financial aid for the year.
And I am Kayla Dalton. I am a representative in Student Financial Services. And our department is responsible for managing the payment plans for tuition and fees, as well as housing. And we will go into a little more detail how that works here shortly.
Thank you, ladies. So just as a quick review, on our housing homepage, there is a check-in newsletter that has all the information that you might need on how to set up a check-in appointment. If you have any questions about your room placement, what suggested items to bring, maybe some things not to bring, but sort of a FAQ for all things housing are available on our website. Of course, you can also email us at housing@csub.edu. So we're going to get started with financial aid. Christy's going to give an overview, and then we will jump over to payment plans with Kayla.
All right, perfect. So I just want to welcome you guys to CSUB. Again, as I mentioned, I am in the financial aid office on campus here. So I want to go over just some general reminders and tips. Let me get my slideshow going here. Nope, it doesn't want to start. All right. So for each academic year, just a reminder that you want to make sure that you have completed either your FAFSA or DREAM Act application. You do have to complete one for each school year, so just make sure that is done. The applications open up October 1st prior to every school year with a March 2nd priority deadline. If by chance you have not done yours yet and it's after the priority deadline, you still can get it completed at any time during the school year, so it's never too late. So first off, of course, make sure that you get that completed. Once you do apply, make sure that you're checking your CSUB account, your emails, your My CSUB portal to see if there's any documents, anything missing that you may want to turn into our office, may need to turn in. Any documents required by our office must be received and reviewed by our staff before we would be able to award you any aid. And then you can view your financial aid award once you have been awarded through your My CSUB portal, and then make sure that you do accept or decline any loans offered. And then just a tip is make sure that you are enrolling at least full-time every semester, which is 12 units if you are an undergraduate post-bac student in like a credential program. If you are a master's student, full-time would be 6 units. And that's to ensure that you're going to be able to receive that full financial aid package that you're eligible for. So diving in a little bit to some of those requirements, we have a fairly new site called Student Forms. This is a site that allows you to submit any documents you need to us virtually. The first time, if you've never created an account, you'll want to make sure to get that set up by registering your account. And you want to make sure that doing so, you're inputting the information exactly as you have it listed on your FAFSA or DREAM Act. For example, something that kind of gets students tripped up is, say you have 2 last names listed on the FAFSA, make sure that you're including both of those. If you have a space between those names, make sure it has the space. If you have a hyphen between the 2 names, make sure it has the hyphen. So just be very careful that you're putting it exactly as it is on your application. If you are a DREAM Act student, you want to make sure that instead of using your social security number, that you use your DREAM Act ID instead, and that is listed on your CSAC DREAM Act application. So just a tip on that page. When you go to your MyCSUB homepage, you'll see it will look similar to this. Definitely make sure that you're always checking for any holds, any to-do list items over to the right-hand side that might need submitted to our office, as well as any other departments on campus. If you have never logged into our Student Forms account, you'll see, as in the example here, that it will say log into Student Forms as one of your to-do list items, and it will refer you to that Student Forms page that I just showed. The other important section you want to look at is on the finance section, which you can see that header on the left-hand side. There is a link called Manage Your Refunds that I want to point out. This is a place where you would want to create what it's a bank mobile account, but you need to set that account up in order to select how you would like to receive any refunds you might get from the campus. So it's important that you get that set up for your school year. And then right underneath that, you'll see a financial aid section, and that's where you're going to actually view your financial aid package. When you click on that View Financial Aid, you'll be taken to a page where you can click which school year you want to look at. So currently, as we're recording this, it is the start of the 22-23 school year. So you'll be directed to select 2023 for your school year. And you'll be taken to a page like this that shows you a summary of your financial aid for the school year. This will show you the total for the year, and then below that, if you scroll down further, you'll see a breakdown of the portion for fall semester and a portion for spring semester. As you may notice in this example, most of the aid will be accepted on your behalf. Those would be any free money, such as grants, scholarships. Any loans that have been offered to you are just going to be in an offered status, and you'll see that the accepted amount is 0. So it is up to you to decide if you're going to be borrowing those loans, and you would need to accept or decline that aid. The one exception I will point out is the Cal Grant Awards. At the beginning of the year, you may see that Cal Grant is just offered to you, but you will not have the ability to accept that. The reason is that we do have to confirm with the California Student Aid Commission on your final Cal Grant Award. Once we get that final determination, we will accept it on your behalf once we confirm the amount. So just be aware of that little exception. So clicking on the Accept Decline Award button at the bottom will take you to the next screen that looks like this. And you'll see again, the student loans there have the option to check either accept or decline for them. And then the grants already have the accept button checked for them. When you are accepting the loans, you will have the ability to change the accepted amount if you decide that you don't need the full loan or if you don't want to take out the full loan. So for example, in this case, the subsidized loan is offered at $5,500 for the year. Say you've decided that you're only going to need $4,000 of that. When you click accept, you can change the accepted amount to $4,000. Keep in mind that you're accepting an amount for the school year. So that's going to be broken down and give you half of that for fall. So $2,000 for fall and $2,000 for spring in that example. So be aware of that. So once you have major selections on this page, make sure that you do submit and save that information at the bottom to be able to accept those student loans. Just a little bit of breakdown on the student loans that we offer. There's typically 2 types that students will be offered, the subsidized and unsubsidized loans. They're both student loans. They have low interest rates. You do not have to start making payments on these loans until after you have either graduated, stopped attending school, or fall below a half-time status. So they have great benefits in helping you pay for your education, and you do not have to work on paying them off while you're in school. The main difference between those 2 different loans, though, is the subsidized loan does not accrue any interest during the time you're in school, where this unsubsidized loan will start accruing interest from the time we pay the loan out. You can choose to pay off the interest as you go, or you can wait and just let it compound on top of your total loan balance. Some other options with the housing fees and the tuition charges, many times your grants and even taking out your student loans, it may not quite be enough to cover your full balance. If that is the case, there's a few other options that you can look into, and you can definitely reach out to our office for more information, but some of those are listed below. The first being the Parent Plus loan. That is available for parents of dependent students. So if you had to list your parents on your FAFSA or DREAM Act application, then you are considered a dependent student, and one of your parents can apply for a loan on your behalf. It is a credit-based loan, but it is a federal loan similar to the subsidized and unsubsidized. Your parents would have to be approved based on their credit, but that loan can be paid out just like the student loans and applied toward any balances on your student account. The other option is what we call an alternative loan, which is an outside loan that you would apply for through a bank or a lender of your choosing. For either of these options, you would need to submit a form to the financial aid office to let us know that you're applying for these loans, so that way we can apply them towards your account. So I will provide our contact information at the end, but you can definitely reach out to us to get further information on either of these options or to get those forms to apply for those. If you are a first-time loan borrower, there are 2 loan requirements that you're going to need to complete before we can pay out your loan, and you just have to do it the first time that you borrow student loans. Those would be added to your to-do list on your MyCSUB account, but they can be completed on studentaid.gov, which will be linked from your to-do list, but it's listed at the bottom of the slide here. So you'd be required to complete a master promissory note, the MPN, and loan entrance counseling. So just be aware of, if you are a first-time student loan borrower, that you will need to make sure to get those completed as well. All right, so one of the last things I want to make sure to bring up to you before we turn it over to our next department here is the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, which is called FERPA. This is a federal requirement that states that we can't provide your information to anyone other than yourself unless you give us permission to do so. So if you would like, say, your parent to be able to contact our office to help out with, asking questions about your financial aid, since their information's on the FAFSA, sometimes you may want them to be able to speak to our office, about the tax information on the FAFSA, any questions you have about loans, things like that. You need to make sure that you do authorize us to be able to speak to them and give them that information. So if you are interested in doing that, you can do that through your MyCSUB portal. You would need to authorize a person on this FERPA release authorization section on there. You would indicate who the person is, their relationship to you, and then what type of information you are okay releasing to them. So you can just check that you want them only be able to speak to financial aid. You can say that you can let them talk to any department on campus if you just want them to speak to housing and financial aid. So you can pick and choose what departments you're giving them access to. But just be aware, if you do want someone to be able to call on your behalf, that you have given us permission to do so ahead of time. So. All right. And lastly, I just want to provide our contact information. So if you have further questions on any of the information that I've gone over today, if you need to get ask questions about your specific account, if you need some of the forms, make sure you always reach out to our office. We are available Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Our phone number, as listed here, is 654-3016. And our email is the other great way to get a hold of us. We have staff answering email all day long as well at finaid@csub.edu. Be sure anytime that you contact our office that you do have your CSUB ID number handy, or if you're emailing, that you do include that in your email. And I definitely encourage you to reach out for any questions you may have. We're here to help you. We want to help make sure that you have everything squared away so you're set to go and ready to join CSUB and do well in your classes. And I definitely encourage you, just if you have questions, ask. It's better to contact our office, make sure that we're able to look into your account, get the information straight from us. Your account may be a lot different than your classmates' account, your roommate's account. So yes, sometimes you want to ask for advice for other people, but it's better to make sure to reach out as your account may be a little bit different than theirs. So thanks so much for joining us. If you have questions, I definitely hope to hear from you soon.
All right. And I am going to go ahead and take over from here. I don't quite have the presentation that Christy has set up, but I just kind of want to walk you through finding the payment plan and how that works. So the easiest way that I find is just to start with our main CSUB page. If you click on current students, provide several links. And if you click on view more links here, towards the bottom, you can find the link to student financial services that will take you directly to our webpage. Over here on the left-hand side, this third link down says student financial services and accounting operations forms. If we click on that, it takes us to a page. You can select student financial services from here. And then down here towards the bottom, you'll see 2 separate payment plans. This first payment plan here is for tuition and fees. And the second plan is for your housing fees only. So you can certainly enroll in both if necessary. Today, I am just going to go over the housing payment plan so that we can become a little more familiar with that. So if you click on that link, this is the actual form, and it's a 2-page form. This front page is just going to give you disclosures, policies, things of that nature. And then here in the middle, you will see the actual breakdown of rent, meal plan, net due, and then it breaks it down into 3 payments. And here are the due dates over here on the left-hand side. So for example, this single occupancy room, there is a total after the $150 down payment, there is a total of $8,450 that would be due for this fall term. So the initial payment is $2,816.66 is going to be due with tuition and fees on August 18th. And then these remaining 2 payments are due 30 days after that. And then the final payment that is 30 days after that second payment. There are no billing statements that go out that are going to remind you that these payments are due. It is your responsibility to make sure that you're on top of those and getting those payments made when they are due. If we scroll down really quick before I scroll down, our contact information, our phone number is here at the bottom of this page. Our email is here as well. You can click this link. Just like Christy was saying about financial aid, please call us with any questions that you might have. Even if you think we are not the people you need to talk to, or you think we've already answered it, we are happy to answer it again. And if we are not who you should be speaking with, we will make sure that we get you to the appropriate person. So if we scroll down to the second page, this is where we would you would list the amounts based on your occupancy from this page up here. So single, double, and triple. Those 3 payments are going to fill in this space here. And then you will complete this bottom portion, basic information, name, student ID, signature, address, contact information. And then you're going to submit this document to Student Financial Services via email. You can mail it in, you can bring it in, whichever is easiest for you. We will accept an electronic signature if you email this to us, as long as it is emailed to us from your CSUB issued email address. And that's just our way of confirming that it is you submitting this document. Otherwise, if you are sending it from a personal email, bringing it in, fax, however you choose, we will need your actual signature on here. So it would need to be printed, signed, and then either scanned or brought in. And then we will sign off down here at the bottom, give you a copy of it. And then once you make that initial payment and have submitted this document, then you're officially entered into the housing payment plan. There is a $20 late fee if payment is not made on time. That is not a recurring fee. We do it one time at the beginning of the term on past due balances. And that information is laid out in here as well. I do want to touch base really quick on Bank Mobile. I know that Christy showed you the link, how to get to manage your refunds. And it is important because even if you're not receiving financial aid, or even if you are not expecting a refund from financial aid, if you overpay your account, mom or dad overpays your account, anybody helping you in your account is overpaid, Bank Mobile is the only way that we can process a refund to you. So it is important to go in and select how you would like to receive your refunds. If you select direct deposit, it's about a 2-day processing. So if we issued your refund on Monday, that would be in your direct deposit account by Wednesday. If you elect to receive a check by mail, that check is mailed out by the end of the week in which it was issued. So if we processed your refund yesterday, that check would mail out by this Friday. If you do not make a selection and you have a refund available, monies that are available to refund to you, Bank Mobile will continue to email you, text you, and mail you letters letting you know that there is money available to be refunded to you, but we cannot process a refund until you've made that selection. And then one more note on Bank Mobile: if you're coming from another university or college that also has Bank Mobile and you had created an account with them, that account will not transfer to CSUB. You will have to inactivate that account with Bank Mobile, and then you'll create a new account through the CSUB link, just like you did with your prior institution. So again, our contact email and phone number is on this document as well. And we look forward to seeing you on campus.
Thank you so much, ladies. Appreciate you sharing that information. And for those that are watching or rewatching, they've shared their contact information. Please do reach out. Don't wait till you get to campus if you have questions now, particularly with financial aid. A lot of those things are time sensitive. And that first payment for your student housing is due on the 18th, which check-in starts August 17th. And so making sure that you are utilizing them as resources before you arrive. And then after you get here, you can definitely stop by their offices. If you have any questions regarding housing, as I mentioned, you can contact us. Our number is 661-654-3014, or you can email us through our website. Thank you very much.